Hello there, how you all doing? Um, I thought I'd upload another preview chapter of my Legion Saga sequel to basically keep interest going in it, but also I'm hoping that reading through it might, or something in it might just get my head started again, so I can start writing. So as well as being a preview for you guys, it's also hopefully a jump start, if you will, for me. Anyway, this is from just over halfway into the book. I'm not going to say what happens before it, but I thought you'd find this interesting anyway, to say the least. So the chapter title is Birth. Location unknown, time unknown. Darkness, vast emptiness. Silence save for the faint echoes of some kind of momentous and dramatic event. Barely visible but still present, a pinprick of faint white light pulses slowly and gently. Its presence within this void is seemingly ignored. Its effect on the surrounding blackness of the void is negligible and utterly ineffectual as it desperately repels the darkness from consuming it completely. It's pulsing, the longer it is seemingly forced to fight, building with rapidity, and with the increase in the speed of this pulsing, the once faint little white dot is growing brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. Its pulsing has now begun to periodically flash with intensely bright energetic discharges that burst from within the now bright pulsing white dot out far beyond its source and forcing the darkness back for the briefest of moments before it reclaims its dominance once more. With each burst of energy, the dot gradually grows in size and its pulsing less frantic, slower, calmer and more measured, almost calculated. Its flashes seem to get more strategic, almost as if this now basketball-sized sphere of intensely bright and solid white light is testing its surroundings, feeling out to figure out what's there. There's a playfulness to it now, a growing confidence, an inquisitive nature to it as its flashes of energy tests and measures of its boundaries, and when it feels no resistance, it doubles in size, and its pulses grow ever more focused now, almost hungry. Its appetite for exploration, that curious and near childlike quality, has now been replaced by something else, something more determined and driven. Its flashes that were once even and encompassed an equal perimeter around its entire form are now shooting further out beyond it, almost as if it's searching for something. Like if it had hands, it would be not just reaching out, but attacking something unseen that's hiding within the more dominant gloom and the surrounding darkness. It's hunting. But it's only when our intrepid sphere is the size of a small house that what it's hunting begins to become clear. With every intense flash, the outline of some sort of being formed completely of shadow cowers and shields itself from the intensity of the sphere's attacks as it flees in terror to the safety of the dark abyss. With each of its usually unseen prey it fails to capture, it causes our sphere to balloon in size, with its intense white flashes gradually becoming less wide and more pinpoint, beam-like. As each blast narrowly misses its target again and again, the bright light emanating around these powerful blasts further illuminates the shadowy beings, exposing more of their grotesque true forms. Their bodies, twisted and emaciated husks long devoid of life. Their spindly tendril-like limbs barely avoid being hit by the light as it jets past. Their faces, the ones that have them, are deformed and misshapen facsimiles of a human's. Their noses, some long and hooked, others skeletal, and others, the larger portion of them, are just two holes where the nose should be. Their eyes, with some are missing, a black and empty space being the only indication that they may have once had them. Others, along with their mouths, have them seemingly sewn shut with what appears to be barbed wire. but the vast majority of them, their eyes are huge, almond-shaped, so large in fact that they almost wrap around to the temples of their huge heads. With each shot missed, the beings shriek loudly in absolute terror, with those shrill cries now becoming more dominant over the once engulfing silence, their screams seeming to encourage and excite the sphere until, rather than shoot its beams in a single direction, it has learned a new trick, and in a fraction of a second it sends sharp and needle-like blasts in all directions that connect with multiple targets at once. The solid shafts plough through anything that gets in their way, going through heads, torsos, limbs, and even multiples of those on a single victim. The glowing needles of light, after finding and hitting their target, twist and bend into hooks at the ends that locks against its prey, wrapping around bone and flesh, dragging anything in its vicinity towards the sphere as the shafts of light retreat back to its source. Desperately, those frail and desiccated looking forms claw at nothing in an effort to prevent its inescapable and involuntary journey into the blisteringly bright light of the sphere, accompanied by the horrified screams of those not caught, as they collectively realise what's happening, and the fate of those who are rapidly disappearing within the sphere now drowns out those of the sphere's victims, and as the first of its captured prey is consumed within it, the sphere begins to change colour from its bright white to an ever-deepening red. As the last of its first meal is consumed, the sphere turns briefly black before exploding in a shower of deep magenta light. The shards of its once cocoon-like shell ejected in all directions like shrapnel that rips and tears its way through the rest of the surrounding beings. Where the sphere once was, has now something very different in its place. A new kind of being, one formed from the very essence and living embodiment of the source of all dark magic, the energetic manifestation of all things anti-creation, an energy that resides within the spaces between realities and something altogether completely alien to anything that came before. It is what the ancients called demonic magic, and what we will call today antimatter, a living, conscious organism made from pure demonic energy. As the twinkling energies from the vanquished denizens of this realm flutter and swirl like glitter in the wind towards this new entity, its newly formed body, folded up in a fetal position, remains motionless. Its body is a solid, dark void. Despite its lack of light within it, its pulsing and swirling energies are clearly visible within its body as it eagerly and impatiently awaits the arrival of the energetic sustenance gently floating delicately towards it. That wistful and wispy energy almost teases and taunts the fledgling entity as the faint sound of gently tinkling glass can be heard from the glittery sparks colliding and jostling with each other as they push past slower particles behind them, leapfrogging in the opposite direction to make one final attempt to escape. This is all in vain, however, as the gravity surrounding this void-like being violently rips them towards it, and the once separated particles and shards are again joining together. As the once widely scattered energies coalesce, they begin to form rivers of shining, multicoloured and glowing ribbons that hurtle towards and then crash into the void entity's body that absorbs every last particle. From nowhere and everywhere, a deep and guttural rumble shatters the until now relatively silent in most parts spectacle. This rumble, constant and deep, without any ascertainable source, gradually develops into an unmistakable growl, as above the entity two very bright and amber-coloured lines emerge that very quickly open out into two glowing eyes, a galaxy each in size, as a roaring, almost triumphant laugh begins to take the place of the rumbling growl. "Feed my child. Whatever owns those eyes," says gleefully. The deep rumble of its voice buffets the entity that is now merely a tiny speck in the face of this thing, its body rippling from the shockwaves caused by the impact of this thing's voice. "Gather your strength and awaken my child." The eyes seem pleased, almost proud, like a father meeting his child for the first time when it's born. It patiently awaits the first indications of this newly born entity's stirring, to see its eyes open for the first time and to be the first thing it sees. It wants to be the first to stake its claim on it, to be its master, and the entity its loyal and obedient servant. Then, as the energies within its shift, and a mesh-like net of ropey strands of light begin to stir within the entity, the eyes, already so huge and bright, burst excitedly into a more vibrant amber shade. The light cast from its eyes, at long last illuminating the portions of its face surrounding its eyes, revealing the unmistakable huge interlocking scales of some sort of reptile. Out of the corner of its eye, however, at a high angle and far off into the distance, something snatches its attention. It's another sphere of light. This one is different somehow, moving rapidly as it blinks in and out of existence. Worse still, just as he can see it, the reptile knows it sees him too, and his eyes burn brightly with anger. This reptilian knows what's coming. He's foreseen it, feared it, hoped that this event would still be so very far away. Then he felt it. The presence of something it had not felt since its own birth eons ago. Terrified, it opens its mouth and fire spewed from it directly towards this being. The flames exposing its long, coiling serpentine body. A huge frill billowed out from around its neck as it reared back and once again sent a jet of searing hot flame towards the thing it seemed to fear the most. And to make matters worse, its worst fear had noticed him too. As he slithered through what was once an empty void of nothing, but was now erupting into a chaotic and ever-exploding minefield of gas, newly formed stars, rapidly coalescing solar systems, planets, nebulae, and galaxies. Just as he thought he was getting away, time suddenly stopped. Everything around it frozen in place. Explosions that had just that instant expelled its violent energy in his way, hung motionless and rigid. He himself was unable to move, his unresponsive body holding him captive, his chance of escape now relinquished from any of his control. Legion, the voice said, deafeningly loud and excruciatingly painful to endure, not intentionally that way, however. The demeanour of the voice seemed quite pleasant, its tone quite friendly. It seemed like whatever it was genuinely pleased to see him. Well, I never. I can't believe it's actually you. It is you, isn't it? Right, I think we'll leave that there because it's going to give away too much. But yeah, that's like I said, it's just over halfway through the book. That but yeah, it'd be unfortunately it'll be out when it's out. Sorry to say. It has kind of doing this has kind of triggered something though, has to be said, giving me something to I don't know. Oh yeah, if you like what you hear, let me know. Some words of encouragement would be greatly appreciated, to be perfectly honest. Right now, I really would. Even just some critique. Do nice as well. But yeah, thanks for watching.